Dontrelle Willis, Major League Baseball's leader in shutouts, is going for another, which would be his 6th of the year. We go to the 9th. He's got a 2-0 lead. His old buddy Jimmy Rollins bounces one foul back to the screen. Strike one. The 0-1 chopped on the ground into left field. The hit streak lives. Jimmy Rollins now a 23-game hitting streak. He takes the big turn at first base. And Willis missing high and wide again, so Michaels will be very selective with this pitch now. Ahead in the count, 3 balls and 1 strike with Abreu behind him on deck. The 3-1. Outside. Ball 4. So the tying runs are on now. Still nobody out here in the 9th inning. He does bring Lowell in a little closer at third base now with that bunt attempt. And that one is hit hard. Castillo in the right field. Jimmy Rollins is going to score. Jason Michaels around at third. And the Phillies are on the board with the tying run 90 feet away on what could have been a double play ball that went over the glove of Luis Castillo. Dontrelle Willis is going to get a huge ovation for his 8+ innings of one-run baseball. But he is going to leave. And one of the best stories for the Marlins this year, Todd Jones will come on to try to put this one away for Florida. Marlins hang on to a 1-run lead here in the 9th. Todd Jones facing Pat Burrell, first and third, nobody out in a 1-run game here in the 9th inning. Andy Chavez has replaced Bobby Abreu as the pinch runner at first. Abreu was hit in the leg with a throw last night, and that leg has been sore. So the Phil's banking on, if there's something to happen here, that Chavez would be able to have a little bit more speed around the bases. Pat Burrell skies one in the air into shallow center field. Michael's going to set himself. Pierre coming on, lets it fall. And now he'll pick it up. And everybody is safe. A little pop-up to shallow center field. And Juan Pierre can't make the play as the Phillies tie up this ball game. Give Pat Burrell an RBI on a pop fly single to center. Chase Utley 0 for 3, all of it facing Willis today, but now he's got Todd Jones with first and second and nobody out. And he's showing bunt. There's team baseball right there. The sacrifice is thrown away. And the Phillies are going to take the lead. On another defensive misplay by the Marlins, 3 of them in a row here in the 9th inning. It's all gotten away that quickly from Florida. The Phillies inspired in the dugout. Jack McKeon can only look on, as can Dontrelle Willis. 2 errors in the inning and a misplay on a pop-up, and the Phils have used it to manufacture 3 runs. David Bell, 2 singles on the day. And Bell pops one up. That's the same spot. Shallow center field. And they can't make the play again. This is amazing. The Phillies score their 4th run as Victorino crosses the plate. It has all gone bad defensively for Florida here in this 9th inning. Still nobody out.
Amazing, unbelievable. I don't think you can find the adjectives to describe this inning.
It's amazing.
Marlins fans here at Dolphin Stadium shaking their heads. Cannot believe what they've seen.
And Lieberthal wraps one into center field. That's going to be a base hit. And it'll bring in the 5th run of this 9th inning for the Phillies. Chase Utley scores the RBI single for Lieberthal. It's now 5-2 Phils. That team is fired up right now.
This is one of those innings you want to call a 30-second timeout.
He had it set up as the Marlins every way that you wanted. You had Willis, a 2-run lead, and Todd Jones behind him, who converted 27 straight saves. But you want to put the fault on the pitchers, you really can't necessarily do that, although Jones did make a throwing error. Well, these fans are stunned here in South Florida right now.
And Scott, seeing the Marlins consistently throughout the year, there are plays that they normally make.
It was swing and a miss by Howard. 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter, but a .287 hitter on the year. Howard has been hot with the power numbers here in the month of September. Wraps one on the grounds and right through the 5-hole on Konai. This is just not ending for the Florida Marlins. Another run scores, and the Phillies now with a 4-run lead. Still nobody out. This is one of the biggest defensive meltdowns in one inning I've ever seen.
You know, when you see something like this happen, it's one of those things that they always say, you come to the ballpark, you're going to see something for the first time that you've never seen before. And this is it.
And the new pitcher, Ron Valone, facing the pinch hitter, Michael Tucker. 6 runs across for the Phillies here in the 9th inning. If you just joined us, Florida had a 2-0 lead. Dontrelle Willis going for the complete game and shutout on the mound. 73-1 when leading after 8 this year. And Tucker finds a hole into right field. They're going to hold the runners, so it will be bases loaded. Infield drawn in for Rollins, who started this off with a single to extend his hitting streak to 23 games. And he punches one through the drawn-in infield. 1 run scores, and the 2nd run will cross. It is now an 8-run 9th inning for the Phillies.
And now you get to the point where things get kind of ridiculous. The ball hit off the end of the bat, but with the infield in, it finds its way into center field. So Jimmy Rollins with 2 hits here in this inning.
Mason Michaels 0 for 3, did draw a walk, however, to keep this 9th inning alive and keep it going in the early going before any of the mistakes started for Florida. And he fouls one off. They were absolutely electric in there as this inning started happening. But now it's just gone way over the top. And a called 3rd strike on Jason Michaels, and there is your first out of this 9th inning. And sarcastic applause here from the Marlins fans. 1 ball and 1 strike. Chavez a .211 hitter on the year. Came over in a trade earlier this season from the Washington Nationals. Deal that sent former Phillies prospect Marlon Byrd to Washington. And there's a line drive into center field for a base hit. And they're going to wave the runner. The throw to the infield is way up the line. Ryan Howard scores the Phillies' 9th run, and Jimmy Rollins will take 3rd on the RBI single for Chavez. So that is going to be not only a single and an RBI, but that's going to be the 4th error of the inning on the Florida Marlins.
Well, now it's just gotten flat out sloppy for Jack McKeon's ball club.
Going to be another pitching change here. The nightmare continues for Florida here in the 9th. He is the 4th pitcher this inning for the Florida Marlins. It's what's seeming like Groundhog Day to Jack McKeon in this series and in recent games against the Phillies.
Well, in this inning, we've written down E4, E1, E3, and E8.
Unbelievable. Shane Victorino lifts one in the air to center field. Guess what? That likely will be another run. Pierre had to battle that all the way looking into the sun, and Rollins will score easily. And we had talked about in the last 4 games, the Phillies have been averaging 10 runs a game against the Marlins. What we didn't realize is they would get 10 in 1 inning. And Utley hits one back to the box. Messenger makes a good glove hand play. And the nightmare finally ends for Florida. And Aaron Foltz now in to try to close things out for the Phillies. His 55th appearance of the year. As you can see the numbers, he's done a good job out of the Phillies bullpen. And Mike Lowell swings at the first pitch, pops it up. Ryan Howard, who came on as a pinch hitter, stayed in defensively, and he makes that catch in front of Mike Lieberthal for out number 1. So 3-2 the count. And that one is inside as Aaron Foltz loses Willingham. A swing and a miss. Down he goes for out number 2. What he's going to remember is something that has never happened in Philadelphia Phillies history. 10 runs in the 9th inning. It's the first time it has happened in Phillies history, and it happens here this afternoon.
And that has been a long, long history. Wow.
Luis Castillo. Tough day out in the field. A little bit of redemption with a single and a left. Putting 2 men on with 2 men out. 2-2 line drive. That'll make it into right field for a hit. They're going to hold the runner at third base as Jason Michaels, who's in right field, fires it back in.
And Cabrera's done a lot of swinging this year. He's second in the National League with 185 base hits. Of course, some big power numbers as well.
That ball hit on the ground sharply, and that should be it. And it is it. An incredible come-from-behind win for the Phillies here this afternoon as they beat the Florida Marlins in a 3-hour, 2-minute game by a score of 10-2. A 10-run 9th inning, the first in club history. As the Phillies win it, with Gaddard Bean the win, Dontrelle Willis the loss.